Welcome back to another brand spanking new episode of You Haven't Seen That Podcast, or YHST for short. I'm Isaac.
I'm Elva.
And I'm Carlos.
And this is a show where we cover movies on that growing list of films that has people asking us the question,
You haven't seen that?
Well, why ain't you seen
Why?
that?
How could you not seen that?
What's wrong with you, huh? Welcome back to the show. If you are new here or if you haven't done so already or whatever, follow us on social media at
YHST Pod.
on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And at that place, you can do the things that people usually do on social media, which is interact. You can tell us your thoughts. You can like, you can subscribe, you can comment, you can DM us if you want to be secretive about it. And if you want to support us, please do that. We appreciate it on Venmo at
YHST Pod.
There you go. Yeah, so we had a huge episode last week, and it was a fun talk, and we forewent. I don't know. We didn't do our usual format stuff because it was two huge movies. Go back and listen to that. It was Spider-Man Brand New Day and The Odyssey. Had a blast talking about it, and still we left stuff on the table. Like, it's just, you can't squeeze that in a fucking 1.5 hour. We would have done more. It's too much. We're not that podcast.
It's mucho.
Translation, too much. So anyways, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to one movie. It was a recent release, which was
Pinocchio Unstrung.
And then another movie we were going to go see, but because of the aforementioned Spider-Man Brand New Day, which took about, all the theaters, we were going to see Motor City with Alan Ritchson, and I don't remember who the female lead is, but we'll probably eventually see it. So we were like, well, we got to have a double feature. So what movie haven't we seen? So it's a little mix of recent release and then something came out last year that was, I think, an Academy Award winner, if not a nominee. And that is A24's If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And that's thanks to Elva for suggesting that one.
I kick you.
That's not very nice.
I enjoyed it. But the thing is, not everyone was able to do their homework. So Carlos is the only one that saw
Pinocchio Unstrung.
Thank you. And then we were the only ones that saw
If I Had Legs, I'd kick you.
There you go.
Still not nice.
So we're going back to a regular format, quick discussions about these things. It's always kind of weird whenever like one person hasn't seen the other thing and then we have to carry the weight of that talking about that movie. So we won't string that along. But we do have our regular either or. We have our news segment and we have the regular full production music and me ranting on the whole YHST Fresh. So
Pickety fresh.
So let's go ahead and teach you some stuff with a little segment that I call YHST News that I get to sit back.
Shut up.
You didn't contribute to this, so.
Exactly. So Alvin Carlos, go ahead and take it away.
Fede Alvarez has stepped away from directing Alien Romulus 2 due to creative differences. Who will take his place? Dun, dun, dun.
Just as a little comment to that, damn tragic, because he did such a great job with Romulus, so I hope they get someone good.
Damn you, studios!
Studio heads.
Wait, I want to try something. Damn you, studios!
Having fun with those buttons.
Buttons!
In Marvel news, we got quite a bit that came out from San Diego Comic-Con. Ryan Gosling has officially been cast as Ghost Rider, with returning director Sean Levy, who brought us Deadpool and Wolverine, which is set to be released at some point in 2028. Ryan Coogler will be returning to direct Black Panther 3, with David Johnson being cast as T'Challa's son. Speaking of Alien Romulus, also due to come out in 2028. And an unfortunate Marvel news, the Blade movie is officially dead, as Mahershala Ali has confirmed he will not be portraying the character. And also, Wonder Man will not be returning for season 2. So,
boo!
Damn you, Marvel.
Such a good show.
I don't get the sound effect. I'm not worthy. Damn you, Marvel.
Fantasy Land movie. No, the Elden Ring movie has officially wrapped filming. The movie is set to hit theaters March 3rd, 2028. Whatever fantasy crap that is.
I'm not a gamer. You guys you game?
I do game, but I've never played Elden Ring.
All right. Well, whoever's listening, tell us about it.
Ryan Hurst, who was cast as Kratos in Amazon's God of War series, will be recast as the actor suffered an on-set injury. No word yet as to who will replace him.
I read when I was on the throne a second ago. Yes, handsome boys poop. That even the son is getting recast.
Although in that case, it's because they're aging up the character. So
12 to 14?
Yeah, to make him like a young teenager.
Look at
Everybody poops. All right. Ridley Scott and Hugh Jackman are taking their Treasure Island movie to Sony. Hopefully it doesn't die there.
Gar, Hugh Jackman. Gar, I got termites in me leg.
I intentionally stood silent because I knew he wanted to pop.
Wow.
You said it with such... Sorry. I'll laugh next time.
For some exciting news for you Disney fans, especially for you, Alva, The Princess and the Frog will be getting the live-action treatment.
God.
Oh, boy. Now, we will be having Coleman Domingos writing the script for this. So, hey, could it be something a little different?
I actually heard an interview of him being asked about that, and what he wants to and the director wants to is make a princess that is basically her own princess, like doesn't need like a man. Like they want to continue that, but like make it more family.
So Frozen? That was Frozen, right? They didn't need no man?
Is that? I think so. It's been a while since I've seen
It
it.
was a whole thing.
All right.
Don't touch Frozen, Disney!
Oh, Moana.
All right. Tom Holland is back in the dance studio preparing to play Fred Astaire in the upcoming biopic.
I'm down. I'm with it.
Yeah.
I've seen him dance.
There is a controversy on that
Fishnets.
one about, I guess, Fred Astaire's wife not wanting them to do a biopic because Fred Astaire didn't want them to do a biopic on him.
Oh.
But Sony found a loophole.
Well, I hope nobody accidentally pushes her down the Fred Astaire's.
You see why we didn't have you do any news segments?
Yeah.
Gold! Comedy gold!
So, to end things on a tragic note, that came out wrong. One more time. This is terrible.
Oh, man, I'm editing this one. Oh, zoinks!
And we end our news on a sad note, as we have lost several actors and directors who have passed within the last few weeks, which include Kaylee Hotto, who you'll remember as the little girl from Godzilla vs. Kong.
That's right. That was tragic. 19 years old?
18.
18.
Damn tragic.
Car accident?
Yes. Chuck Russell, who directed The Mask with Jim Carrey, and he also did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, which is my favorite Nightmare
I
movie.
didn't know that.
Vincent Pastore, who portrayed Salvatore from The Sopranos.
What's his real character name?
Salvatore?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Big Pussy.
Big puss.
I haven't
He would have
watched-
wanted you to say it, damn
Yeah.
I haven't watched
Yeah.
The Sopranos.
No, yeah.
And last but certainly not least, we have also lost the great Sam Neill.
it. Oh, yeah.
Need I say more?
We are going to do a Sam Neill double feature. We're doing Event Horizon and...
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah,
so
so-
look out for that.
Mhm.
And that is all we have for this edition of YHST News.
More newscastery.
Isaac's editing this one, so it's fine. Do all the ums and everything else.
Nice. Okay, so now back onto our regular format, like I said, and Carlos is either or.
Thank you for getting that right.
She wanted to say it so bad. She wanted to say this or that.
If we're then.
We'll say that for the next either or.
It is Carlos.
In keeping with the topic of Marvel news, should movie studios stop announcing full slate of movies before securing lead actors, directors, or completed scripts? Just as a quick example, they announced Mahershala Ali as Blade 7 years ago with no director or script, and look what happened there. James Gunn announcing shows like Amanda Waller and Booster Gold, now having been canceled apparently. So do you guys think that whether if it's DC or Marvel, just tell us like what they got coming up, or should they just bite their tongues and wait till they secure one of those three aspects?
Bite their tongues. I don't want to know about this until you're in it, till you are filming or you are in early stages of production.
Yeah, it's a bit of putting your cart in front of the horse. I think I may understand why they do that, though. I think they want to get a beat on the audience. With DC and Marvel, it's a lot of trying to please the audience. And so as much audience feedback, especially when they're announcing like it's going to be based off of this storyline, or we're having this is our cast, and maybe already announcing certain characters. I know that they have a general idea of what the movie or story series is going to be, the story wise, but for sure, I know they're throwing it out there to fish for either like new ideas or, alternates, just options. So that way they can either punch it up or just, like I said, just give themselves options. That's my theory. I don't know if that's ever confirmed. I've never really heard any creative talk about why they release it like so far in advance when, like I said, most of them fall through completely. And then the ones that actually are there, Wonder Man, end up fucking getting canceled. And I liked it. It was a really good show. It was actually like a grounded fucking superhero show.
Well, like to Marvel's credit, they have been doing a lot of course correcting within the past year and a half with Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and now with Spider-Man. We've yet to see how will they stick the landing with Doomsday and Secret Wars. But at Comic-Con, we didn't get a full slate announcement of what's coming after Secret Wars. We got 2 projects, which at least they got their bearings, which is Ghost Rider and Black Panther 3. Mm-hmm. And we know we got X-Men coming out, but we do have a director. We've already got our first cast actor with... Oh, who Sadie was Sink? It? Well, I imagine Sadie Sink will be in it, but also Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. So to their credit, at least they're biting their tongue. It's like, okay, we're only going to announce because we've learned our mistake with Blade, which again was utterly crushing that we're not going to get that Blade movie anymore.
From what I understand, I think they were looking at Indy Navarrete to play possibly Mystique, which I think would be a great cast. I mean, talk about bringing in people that'll get butts in the theaters, and portray and just act the shit out of it.
No, definitely. So yeah, I think they should just only present what is it that you've got a director, script, or even an actor for. If you have all those 3 components, then we know, okay, this movie's on track. We are going to get it. It's not here's the movie, but we're never going to get it because they couldn't get their shit together.
With all these other, I want to say smaller projects when you're doing something like Amanda Waller, right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't think people are so precious about those storylines. Like, why not just make a season? Let's just make a miniseries. Whatever happened to a limited series? I mean, look at the Punisher one-shot special. That was awesome. Just tell a fucking isolated little story. You get to have fun with these characters. And then based off of that small thing that you didn't really shout out a lot of money for, maybe people actually want an extended series or maybe even a movie or integrated thing. Integration, keyword. It's just, you could do that, but when you're announcing all these things and it just falls through, it's crap.
Also, I would love to see Hunter Schafer as Mystique.
Hunter Schafer would be great. I wanted Hunter Schafer as Zelda.
Yeah,
that too,
definitely would have seen that. But again, they've yet to announce the rest of the cast. I'm pretty sure we'll get it within the coming months. Maybe at D23 they might announce more X-Men stuff.
That's right. When's that?
I
thought that one passed already.
No, supposedly I think it's in a month, I think.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Fact checked me.
But so other than the smaller side stories and stuff, make little mini things of that. But when it comes to the bigger projects, the things people really care about, isolate your focus on those things. Like X-Men casting, I know we talked about it in last week's episode with possibly Jensen Ackles or Patrick Wilson playing Magneto. They could go a completely different direction. This is the rumor mill. With big ensemble stories or franchises like that, especially with the X-Men, where we've finally come off of all this multiversal stuff, and it seems like we're gonna finally, go in a different direction with a new cast. I mean, they sort of softly did that with the First Class series. It was a bit of a hit and miss, but it showed that there are people out there that can portray these characters that people are precious about. But, and I know we said this, we talked about it in last week's episode, that someone like Magneto, though, that's a really big one. And how are you going to play that? If it's going to be sort of contemporary Magneto and he doesn't live through the Holocaust, where are you going to pivot? So, your casting needs to be important. Your story needs to be fucking massively paid attention to, but also people with very significant backstories. You cannot fuck that up. So if you're going to do it, you got to do it right or don't do it at all.
And that about does it for this Intermission's edition of Either Or.
More newscastery. Hey guys, I think we're gonna go and close out on the Either Or if you don't mind, and then if I don't mind, I'm just gonna end here. All right, Carlos, this is your segment because we didn't watch Pinocchio Unstrung, so go ahead and tell us about that.
All right, so this week I checked out Pinocchio Unstrung, the latest of horror movies that have been adapted from childhood stories. So this trend's been going on for the last 4 or 5 years, where certain characters that have now entered public domain are now
gotcha.
getting the horror movie treatment.
Popeye, Mickey Mouse.
Or technically not Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, because otherwise Disney will come after you by uttering Mickey Mouse.
Splitting mouse hairs.
So it all started with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and now a shared cinematic universe has been created called the Twisted Childhood Universe, the TCU for short. I know, very
We
clever.
are sick people.
Their latest installment being Pinocchio Unstrung, which follows Pinocchio befriending James, and he sets out to become a real boy by any means necessary. And what do I mean by that? He goes fucking Buffalo Bill.
It's not Meat Canyon stuff. Papa, I want to be a real boy. A real boy, Papa.
I love that short.
Oh, dear God. Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Someone exorcised this demon from this toy.
God, what a demented fucking clip.
So I've been watching these movies. Like, I have a weird, morbid fascination with them. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, these movies are schlock. They're not very well made. They're made on shoestring budgets. The first Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie was made on a budget of $50,000.
Oh, my God.
And if you look back at the trailers, you'll see that the masks look so cheap. And that's because when they were making that movie, they bought that from an online store that makes mass production. So
Immortal
that's,
Masks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they look so plasticky, like too smooth. Whereas at least in the sequel, Blood and Honey Part 2, they did get a bigger budget. So they put prosthetics, they put texture into the characters. So then you had Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare and Bambi the Reckoning.
Not Bambi.
Yes, Bambi did get the horror movie treatment.
That wimpy deer?
So are you saying that these are your guilty pleasure movies?
Yes. So for some reason, I really like went down the rabbit hole with these movies. I watched the Steamboat Willie movie that came out last year with David Howard Thornton as Steamboat Willie.
I was about to fucking ask that. Are fans of the Terrifier, which we are, fans of Terrifier franchise, would we enjoy these to an extent?
If you really want to watch a bad movie and just laugh at how bad it is, how cheesy, how derivative.
Yeah.
Yes, like I think just as long as like you have a couple beers, this is like one of those movies where no, believe me, I'm not defending them in the sense like you'll find good qualities in them because they're not good movies. Like you have characters you hate that you just want them to die.
Cool.
But it's got some funny kind of clever kills.
It's like if you're having a Halloween party, you're throwing on something in the background, having some beers,
like, honestly,
half watching it.
You don't have to pay attention to the plot because there really isn't much to these. So then these movies are, of course, leading up to a major crossover event called, and get this, Pooniverse Monsters Assembled. And the logo for that movie is the letter P and the Avengers A-style font.
Oh my God.
I bet Anthony C. Ferrante, the fucking creator of Sharknado, that whole fucking universe is just drooling in his pants.
But I will say that out of these 5 movies that we've gotten for this shared cinematic universe, I will say this is probably my favorite one. It is the more well-made one. You could see like right away by like picture quality and even animatronic effects, like they did have a more better budget for this, where there was some behind the scenes stuff that came out where you could see I have to look up to see like what's the studio that made the animatronic puppet for Pinocchio. And it looks so good, even like in just like regular room lighting, like it looks like wood that's like moving organically. So that's what I was more interested in. And you get 2 recognizable horror movie actors in this. Richard Brake, who, if you've seen Game of Thrones, he was, I think, like the first Night King actor. And he's done like a bunch of stuff like a few Rob Zombie movies. He's got like that very creepy face. Or if you've seen Batman Begins, he's the guy that kills Bruce Wayne's parents. That guy.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you get Robert Englund, who does the voice of the cricket. They don't call him Jiminy for copyright reasons. But in case any of you are wondering, well, how are they getting away with this? Again, because these are public domain characters now, as long as they're not adapting anything of the versions of these characters that Disney has made, they're legally safe. So you could still have the cricket character, but they just can't make him look like Jiminy Cricket.
Is that what allowed Guillermo del Toro to make his movie?
Yeah, because since this is, again, based on a series of books, he made his version that was more adapted well, more closely adapted to the original books, where Pinocchio is a little shit.
Yeah, I also
troublemaker.
wasn't expecting Pinocchio to have to deal with like Nazi stuff. So there's that.
I know. Imagine that. So with this,
I want that as a sound clip. I know. Imagine that.
so the story with this one is you have a lonely boy named James who loses his best friend, and he lives with his grandfather because, of course, he's a little orphan. Pretty typical of fairy tale stories. So his grandfather, who Richard Brake portrays, is Geppetto, and he ends up creating Pinocchio to give him as a best friend. And because Pinocchio doesn't know anything about what's it like to be human anatomy, yes, there's a little subplot with human anatomy where he's learning genitalia.
I saw, sorry to interrupt you, but I saw, I think I sent it to you, a set photo with somebody being like strung up.
That's from the movie.
Was it a trans girl or that he just put together parts?
He put together parts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which, so I'll just jump a little ahead.
Whoever
so
had those parts, well, good on you.
Later on in the movie, Pinocchio goes on a full bloody rampage and murdering these bullies that targeted James because Pinocchio gets so protective of him. He goes like full John Wick on them where like he massacres everyone.
Okay.
So he murders all the bullies, whether it's using his nose, scalping them.
Sure.
And then he just like stuck together all the body parts to make like a huge marionette. You know? So
I'm mad that I didn't see it now.
and because Pinocchio wants to become a real boy, he's literally taking body parts from all his victims and adding them to his own. So he's filling like his hollow chest cavity with organs. He puts on the wig in the face of a girl that he murders. So that's what I meant. Like he goes full Buffalo Bill. I mean, we don't get a goodbye horses scene. Although there is a similar scene where he doesn't like tuck anything in because he doesn't have anything to tuck in. But he does look in front of the mirror to marvel at himself as a real human.
This is such a nod to.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
So the thing with all these TCU movies is they're all very derivative of certain horror movies. Like Winnie the Pooh is derivative of like slashers.
Okay.
Peter Pan is more of like the Black Phone.
Okay.
And Bambi's more like, I don't know if you ever seen this Netflix movie called The Ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like based off of that.
Where they're out in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah. We I think that we covered that on a Halloween episode in Hype. It's really fucking good.
It is. So
Fuck.
we do get a lot of returning. I think it's one guy who's mostly directed all these and who's also acted in front of the camera. And they like seem like, again, the most down to earth, chill guys. And the fact that they're making this horror franchise.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it
David
always
Howard
goes.
Thornton is one of the nicest seeming people ever.
And you've heard me on the show talk about like how he's like the goofiest guy.
Yeah.
And total monster in costume.
Yeah.
Going back to Pinocchio learning like how to what it is that makes a boy a real boy, there's a scene where they're looking at an anatomy book and James is teaching them like, this is what makes a person a human. So there's a running gag where it's basically like a dick joke where, what are those? Because he is voiced by an actual child, so it is funny hearing an actual child murdering these people. And he's like, what is that, James?
Oh my
because
God.
all these movies take place in England. So
Makes sense. Okay.
And James is like, we'll talk about that later. So a scene later on where one of his victims is a blonde girl like taking a shower. So there's of course like nude scenes with all these movies. He peeks in the shower curtain. He's like, bloody hell. Like, why did she cut off her penis? Why would she do that? It's just the most hilarious thing hearing like a child say this. But this isn't the first Pinocchio horror movie we've gotten. There was one I remember as a kid called Pinocchio's Revenge.
Oh.
Where it's kind of like a psychological horror movie where this little girl gets Pinocchio as a gift from her parents and she ends up hearing his voice. And it's kind of left up to speculation whether is it all in her head or is the doll actually possessed somehow. I remember watching that as a kid. It always stuck with me. So then seeing this, it just brought back those memories where that movie did creep me out. But in this case, there's no psychological aspects to this. Like, no, this is a straight up murderous puppet.
Yeah, the design of the puppet looks great.
It looks great, right? And there's also like a couple other characters where they also have like full animatronics where it looks really good. The voice acting is decent. And with Robert Englund voicing the cricket, he's basically just Freddy Krueger as a cricket. Even his hands have like razor sharp claws, and he's like doing all these taunts that are like totally Freddy Krueger.
That's great.
And again, like Pinocchio gets some like pretty cool kills with his nose, so he'll purposefully lie so he could like stab one of his victims. So there's a scene where
been impaled.
He's got one of his one of the bullies pinned to the wall, where he tears off his nose and throws them that nails their hands to the wall. So he just tells a lie, which he knows like will help the nose grow. And then he goes up to the bully's face and he sticks his nose into the bully's nostril and starts lying slowly so that it starts impaling his brain like an ice pick.
Good gore?
It's got some like
it's done well.
Well, I mean, for these being shoestring budgets, I mean, I would say the gore would be like, as far as like it doesn't look like too fake. It's kind of a little bit like the first Terrifier movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, that movie was made on a shoestring budget. Yeah. But this is such a guilty pleasure movie. I am a completist. Like, even though I know these movies are terrible, I want to see like where does this lead up, because they've announced like other characters that they're adapting, like Alice in Wonderland, Sleeping Beauty.
Wow.
They're planning on making a third Winnie the Pooh movie, adding a lot more of the because like the second movie had Tigger, Owl, Piglet, and Roo, and the Huggalumps or
Huffalump.
Huffalump.
Yeah, those characters. I'm very terrible with those names. But yeah, I mean, this is just like such a guilty pleasure movie. And if you really want to just have like a real laugh at like horror movie schlock, I mean, yeah, there's better movies like Obsession, Backrooms that we've seen. But if you just want to see like a very lowbrow movie, just have like a laugh of how terrible it is.
There's something where they're leaning into that sort of absurdity.
Yeah, like I will say that these movies totally embrace their tone, so I will give them credit. Like, they're very confident. They know these movies are very lowbrow and they're very gimmicky. Absolutely. Like in Steamboat Willie, for example, it's not part of this franchise. They have like these very ditzy drunk party girls that are basically the Disney princesses. Like, they're dressed in the same colors. And I don't remember they have the same names, but they have such the most annoying personalities, and they get like the worst deaths.
I'll have to eventually get around to it. Maybe we'll we'll throw in like a big old Halloween thing.
Yeah. I would love to watch those. I will say the first one's like so terrible. Like, it really is bad. Like, I almost like quit watching it.
Really?
Like, and you guys know that even with bad movies, I stick through them.
The Room.
But this one,
Moana.
like the first Winnie the Pooh movie, I almost wanted to quit, but I'm like, no, because the second one's coming out. I need to see where this goes. But it's such a night and day difference, where the second movie was so drastically better.
I mean, it reminds me of All Hallows Eve, which is where the Terrifier sort of like started from, like how low budget those things were and how they were shot and production value. But it got better and better as each thing, like All Hallows Eve 2, I think 3.
Yeah.
And then Terrifier standalone, jump into 2, and it's a significantly bigger budget with a bigger following too.
Yeah. And then like during the credits, they do show like behind the scenes stuff of like how they filmed all the shots with Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see like they really like they tried their
Passion
best.
project.
Yeah, like this was clearly made by people that just love making movies. They're getting a chance to make these movies that are being recognized. Like, you'd be surprised, like these movies are earning a big profit because, again, low budget.
Oh, absolutely.
And people are going to see this out of morbid curiosity.
It reminds me of last year's horror film starring the dog, Good Boy. Mm-hmm. You know, where at the very end of it, they're like, we're going to show you how we did this, just because it's such a passion project.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah. And there's like some cool like shadow puppet scenes that are like, if you remember from Candyman, like the new one where there's like the cutout puppets where you're getting like that. Basically, they do the same exact thing in this. Again, like there's a lot of clever shots where like they hide the puppet. There's a few scenes where there's like some CG, but 95% of the time, Pinocchio on screen is an animatronic puppet.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just crap CG.
Yeah. So I had a bit of fun with this. It's schlock, but I love schlock. You got to watch schlock every once in a while.
Candyman was the one with Yaya, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Wonder Man.
Yaya
Abdul Mateen II.
But other than that, like, there's not much to this movie. I will definitely love to watch your guys' reaction to this, just to see, like, can you guys sit through and watch these twisted, like, fairy tale horror films?
I mean, I'll sit through it, The question is, will I fall asleep?
Yeah, you probably will. But also, if you had on your bingo card where Carlos said schlock about 5 times,
I win. Bingo.
But yeah, that's all I got to say. This again, more. If you have morbid curiosity for for these types of movies, this is one of the better ones they've made.
Okay.
Nice. And moving on to our second to last movie, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
That's
Alva, you want to hit me with the synopsis?
Yep. While trying to manage her own life and career, a woman on the verge of a breakdown must cope with her daughter's illness, an absent husband, a missing person, and an unusual relationship with her therapist. I remember this movie came out, was it December of last year? Around there, because it was within the Oscar buzz for this year. And it was one of the movies that we just didn't have time to see.
Same here.
Yeah.
And you still didn't.
I know.
We made time,
Well,
Carlos.
I know.
I
but-
will say though, like, so this past week I had like a weird summer cold. So I just been like passing out, knocking out of sleep as soon as I get home. And I had to do our homework and watch the movie, but it was the hottest day of the week. Came home, ate, showered, slept. And I woke up at midnight and I go, we're supposed to watch it. We got to watch it. Maybe we could watch as much as we can and then watch the rest of it tomorrow. No, we sat there the entire 2 hours of it because it was just that goddamn good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a part where we could pause and be like, yeah, that seems like a good part to pause and then come back. No, I was full on through it all.
Per any A24 film, it's all about like momentum, right? There's a tone that they're going for. There's a mood. And yeah, if you step away from it and then you're kind of losing the momentum of that mood. So there was no parts that like dragged on. I've never been a mom, contrary to popular belief, but I have sisters and I've seen them raise their respective kids and I've seen them go through it at certain points. They've been single moms and just everything in between. And I've seen them struggle and I've seen them lose it. And I've seen them go through basically everything that Rose Byrne's character, Linda, goes through in this one. And I very much love the way that they approached her story, because it is her story. Again, I know this from sort of secondhand experience that you may yearn for a support system, but all in the same, as that mom, you're the only one going through it. You're the only one that has to go to the doctor's visits. You're the only one that has to answer the kid and deal with the kid's screaming and its needs. And, you know, I want a hamster and all these other things. And to add on top of that, if your kid has any health problems, which again, you know, we've been through a variety of those things, not to mention if your child has an eating disorder, then it's this huge struggle. It's how do you try to take care of yourself through that where you have little to no support system? And the way that they treated that in this film, where there are people that were supposed to be her support system and they don't listen to her. She's talking to them, but it's like it's going in one ear, out the other. And then they just talk back at her about their own shit.
There are a couple scenes where it's her and her therapist, which is played by Conan O'Brien. And she's...
By the way, I knew that going in and I didn't know if you knew it. And you're like,
no.
is that Conan?
Is that Conan? I didn't know A$AP Rocky was in this until I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, what's Ruby's husband doing here? But there's a scene where it's kind of crescendoing, like all the stress is on her. Everything's, you know, and she's rightfully so has a crash out, but she has a crash out in front of her therapist. And the one thing that kind of pissed me off, I'm like, if I have a crash out in front of my therapist, I want my therapist to be like, okay, hold on, calm down. Take a deep breath. Let's talk about it. And the therapist is like, what do you want me to say? You keep saying this.
Instead, his response is, this isn't going to work out.
Yeah. And I'm just like, respectfully so, girl, go do what you got to do. Like, you're the one person you're paying to like actually listen to you, at least maybe give you a little bit of feedback of how you can do things, even if you may not want to do that, but at least clear your mind or whatnot. And it's just like, I don't know. It just feels like he's just like that wall that he's being paid to. And then just like,
So there's a few things in this movie that I think are so cleverly done. So it's the movie opens up with a very tight shot on her face, and the way, I mean, can you look up to see if she won an Oscar for this, because she did so amazing.
She did not win an Oscar for this.
So it starts off with a close up. I mean, she's panicked. She's trying to be strong for herself and for her child. And all of these emotions wash over her face in the course of like 30 seconds. And in those 30 seconds to a minute of this opening shot, it sets up what's happening. The daughter's ill. She's having to deal with something. She's, you know, having mini breakdowns. She's trying to hold it all together. And all the while, everyone else, including but not limited to health experts, quote unquote, are essentially putting blame on her. And with the tones that they have, you know, the sort of a up-lilt tone, you know, so if we can just go ahead and do that thing, that would be fantastic. And, you know, we're all on the same team, that kind of thing, the very condescending tone. And there's not really a moment in this movie other than maybe with her and A$AP Rocky for like a beat or three. There's never a moment where any two people are having a fucking real conversation. They're never being real. They're just placating. And then there's this twist. I consider it a twist, but it was so well done, where she's struggling. She's talking to her therapist, Conan, seeking professional help. But after her session is over with Conan, she gets up, she walks out of his office, she goes down the hall, she goes into another door, sits down, and then receives her patient. Turns out, twist, she's a therapist.
Therapist that seeks therapy.
But the additional twist of it is that she then does to a couple of her patients what she gets frustrated that is it getting done to her with like social paranormal relationships that some of them are having. They're in love with her. Spoiler alert, she's in love with her therapist. This you know, trying not to abandon her kid, and another person's dealing with that. And she's also just placating with them. And she's never having that real moment of like, hey, it's a safe space. There's never one calm or safe moment in this film. And an additional way that they do that is, one, they never show the daughter, and you only hear the voice of the husband because he's overseas and, you know, bitching about his situation, which is, it's a luxury situation.
Yeah, but he gets to go to a baseball game.
Yeah. You don't know what it's like. But it's, as a lead actress, like most of the shots are on her, you know, and they're never really panning away to anyone else. So it's like you're carrying the weight of this whole thing, which is the idea of the movie. So it feels claustrophobic in so many moments, you know, just to never reveal like a handful of other things and for them to just be voices. It's crucial because when you put a face to those things, you start to kind of humanize it. And it's only until, again, spoiler alert, until the very end that you get the face reveal of her husband, which is,
Christian Slater.
Yeah. Christian Slater. And then her daughter. And it's sort of meant to kind of imply that now she's going to try to connect with them, you know, but the entire 2 hours is there's not one fucking connection.
Oh my God, no. And then anytime you would hear like the daughter in the background, like, Mom, can we do this? Mom, I'm like, I'm about to kick this kid too, because I understand now. Because for every little thing, I'm just like, how do you not? And I'm like, I understand she has an illness and an eating disorder and whatnot, but there's a point where the kid itself is just annoying. And you can tell that she's like, I am done. I am done. I will give you whatever you want. Just get out of the car. Just get out. Dropped off.
Right.
I'll get you that damn hamster, you know, and then finally
R.I.P.
gets that hamster, and then like, you know, hamsters do what hamsters do. They bite.
That fucking puppet though.
Oh
is
yeah, it's
scary
scary.
as shit.
Jinx, Isaac. But like that point right there where the kid goes, I want this. It's like a kid asking for a puppy, and then the puppy probably like nipped at them or something. I don't want the dog anymore. And I'm just like, what?
I think anybody who doesn't have a kid would be like, oh, that's just exaggerated. And for those who do have kids, and I've seen it firsthand, kids can be rather demanding, which is why you and I decide to not have kids. I'm like, we're admittedly selfish in that way, you know? And then any parent who, especially if they're if they are a single parent or kind of a single parent where their spouse is overseas or just not in the picture majority of the time, I could only imagine it's so damn difficult to take care of yourself. And there's many times in this movie where certain, again, quote unquote health experts are like, you need to just do this. You need to just have a good night's sleep. Like as if it's going to be a simple fix, a one thing, and then all your problems get washed away and then you could deal with it. You know, put the oxygen mask on yourself. It's like sometimes it's a little bit harder to do when you're committing your life to taking care of another person. So for any single moms out there, for any moms that have to deal with children that like maybe special needs, all of you are angels. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not just specifically moms, but any single parent that has to deal with any of those situations, whether it's
any parent or guardian,
yeah, whether it's just a child, you know, with special needs or health needs, or just a regular kid who happens to be needy. All of you are angels. So you're doing seriously the Lord's work. But in this movie, like it really shows you that everybody is just trying their fucking best. Everybody, child or no, is just trying not to lose their shit moment to moment. You know, like when people go like, have a nice day. I'm like, have a nice next few hours.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
I also like the representation of like a new parent with postpartum depression, and then having those thoughts of like, I can't let my kid alone. I can't let the baby alone because then something's going to happen. And it's like a new parent thing. They breathe different. They move different. They're not smiling, you know,
right,
and then like at the end of she's just so overwhelmed that just abandons the baby. I mean, clearly it's in a safe space, luckily with that Linda there. But even then she's like, what do you want me to do?
Want the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's just trying in this world. Everyone's trying to get through their own personal problems.
I feel like it was a very close call for like Rose Byrne and Jessie Buckley for the Oscars.
Oh, right. Oh, Buckley nailed that one.
Two moms, two mother figures kind of going at it in Oscars.
Yeah. Oh, Rose Byrne's easily a runner-up, but Jessie Buckley, not a competition. Lastly, before we then give our scores, there is a moment where they finally reveal the feeding tube. And just a warning for anybody that has, what is it, trypophobia, right? The fear of holes.
Yeah.
There's, it's A24, so you have to have some like weird things going on.
Yeah, very,
right?
yeah.
And whatever they're symbolic of. And I like the way that they did this in regards to, there's, in the beginning of the film, there's a leak, and then there's just a hole that the water crashes through the ceiling from the upstairs apartment. And so they have to live in a hotel. But, the hole's representative of her life or whatever the fuck it is. But anyways, so there's then this scene where they pull out the feeding tube from her stomach, or she does, right? And then it very grossly like closes up. But I have a little bit of trypophobia, so I had a kind of a problem watching that scene and how they did it, which, effectively gross. But I think either Carlos or Alva showed me a real picture of a healed feeding tube hole. And I was like, oh yeah, equally gross. Thanks. I'll set my sandwich down. Thank you very much. And part of me will go through it. So... I mean, I don't want to spoil anything. I already did, but I can really highly recommend If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. But it's very anxiety riddled.
Fun fact: the director was also in the movie as a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my only fun fact.
Oh yeah, she's the health doctor.
The doctor.
Dr. Spring.
Yep, exactly. You have to set up your family appointment.
So again, we're on the same team. We just got to get a date on the calendar. Let's go ahead and put a number on these things with the segment we call YHST Gets Fresh, where every other episode, Alva, Carlos, and I alternate in guessing the Rotten Tomato critic and audience score, as well as giving our own personal rating on the aforementioned movies, which is Pinocchio, Unstrung, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. From 0 to 100, 59 and below being rotten, 16 and above being fresh. Carlos, let's go ahead and start with you on guessing the score of Pinocchio Unstrung.
Doo-doo.
You guys won't know it, but it took me 5 takes to get through that one.
And me and Eva were just dancing away at every take.
I was about to freaking stop dancing.
All right, Carlos, what do you give Pinocchio Unstrung?
Personal score, I'm going to give it a generous 70%. Critics, I think they're going to give it like a 57, and audiences a 65.
Okay, you're close. Critics gave it a 76.
Wow.
Audience gave it a 69.
Hey.
Nice. Wow, that's kind of crazy that for this, critics loved it more. Which, again, if you've seen these movies, schlock. Ding, ding, ding.
Fuck you. I hit the buttons.
Ding, ding,
It's not my
ding.
fault. You're too slow, honey. Okay.
No, but wait, hold on, though. That makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, you're going to have a certain love for these types of things, and the audiences who aren't going to appreciate half of that shit. I get it.
And now for you guys to guess the scores for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. So, Alva, why don't you start off with your personal rating?
All right. I give this an 85.
Okay.
I would give it a 95.
Nice, nice. And Alva, I'm going to give you first pick for critic score.
All right. I think they gave it a 92.
I would think that they gave it a 95.
Okay. And then for audiences.
89.
Yeah, audiences don't like to feel. I'm going to give them 90.
All right. So Alva was exactly right on the money with critics at 92%.
Nice.
And then with audiences, going with what Isaac was saying, they don't want to feel the feels, 79%.
That makes
What
sense.
the fuck? I mean, yeah. I mean, I've said it now,
I
right?
can see why.
But from the way you guys talked about it, I'm like, yeah, this is a movie that does show real life struggles. And
Yeah.
you know what? That's what's sometimes more terrifying than a horror movie is real life.
You know what the critics are going to love the most? A man in a red and blue leotard swinging through New York. Well, there you have it. There it is. Do we have anything else to say about these movies or forever hold your peace?
Nope, we are okay.
Nope.
Right on. All right. Well, thank you guys for bearing with us and listening to this episode. We have more to come. We got double features and new releases. August is filled with some horror stuff. We're a month before Halloween spooky season. So we're getting our stuff ready. And, you know, in the meantime, tell us about your scary movie list. I want to know what maybe we haven't seen that we can go and check it out. But in the meantime, go ahead and follow us on social media at
Chesty Pod.
on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. If you've seen these movies, did you like them? Tell us about it. And you can also support us on Venmo at
Chesty Pod.
We love you. We mean it. Please throw money at us, and I will throw you panty photos
Don't
of me.
forget to tag IHST if you haven't seen these movies.
Yeah. I want to know about your list. So hashtag IHST. In the meantime, let us know what movies are on your growing list of films that has people asking you the question. You haven't seen that?
Why haven't you?
All right, laters.
Why haven't you seen that?
Do, 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 do,
You're an idiot.
do, 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 do.
Yo, blah, blah, blah. You're an idiot. Quambas.